Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel Code Time by Swati. We are in the process of learning JavaScript fundamentals. In last video we have talked about operators and operands. In this part we will talk about the conditional statements, nullish operator and loops in the JavaScript. So let's get started. Let's start with our first topic for this video, that is conditional statements. Unlike other programming languages, in JavaScript, conditional statements are those which execute a specific block of code based on the conditions. If the condition is met, the particular block of code will get executed. Otherwise, another block of code will get executed on the basis of conditions. There are several methods in JavaScript that help us to perform conditional statements in JavaScript. First is if statement, second is else statement, third is else if statement, fourth is conditional or the ternary operator, fifth is switch statement, and sixth is nested if else statement. Let's talk about each and every thing in detail. First and foremost, let's talk about first conditional statement of JavaScript, that is if statement. If statement will evaluate the condition in the parenthesis, and if the result of the condition is true, then the block of code will get executed. The syntax and the example is shown on the screen. Second conditional statement in JavaScript is the else statement. The else statement is the optional part of the if statement that will get executed when the condition of if statement is false. Another conditional statement in JavaScript is else if statement. This allows to handle multiple possible conditions and the outputs, evaluating more than two options based on whether the condition is true and false. The example is shown on the screen. The conditional statement in JavaScript is the conditional operator, that is denoted by question mark and colon. This is also called ternary operator. This is shortcut of expressing the conditional statement in JavaScript. In other words, we can say that it is the shortcut of if-else statement. The syntax and the example is shown on the screen. Another conditional statement in JavaScript is the switch statement. As the number of conditions increase, you can use multiple if-else statement that we will talk about in the next slide. In JavaScript, we can deal with the multiple condition situation using the switch statement that will evaluate the expression, and according to the result of the expression, the case block will get executed. The example is shown on the screen. Last conditional statement of JavaScript is nested if-else statement. As the name itself suggests, that this is the block where multiple if-else statements comes together. This helps us to create complex conditional logic by checking multiple conditions in the hierarchical manner. Each if statements can have an associate else block, and within each if else block you can nest another if else statement. Sometimes it is difficult to maintain the readability of the code in the nested if else statement. The most important thing in this nested if else statement is to maintain the readability. So we give the proper spacing at every if else statement. The syntax of nested if else statement is shown on the screen. Here are some practical questions related to the topic we have discussed right now, that is the conditional statement in JavaScript. Try to solve them to get the better understanding of the conditional statement. If you have any issue in solving this problem, please do let me know in the comment section. I will help you out with the solution. Another topic of this video is the nullish operator. Nullish operator is denoted by two question marks. This nullish operator treats null and undefined similarly. We will use the special term here that is defined when the value is neither null nor undefined. The result of A question mark B is first, if A is defined then A, second, then if A is not defined then B. In other words, nullish operator returns the first argument if it is not null or undefined. Otherwise, it returns the second argument. Nullish operator isn't the completely new concept in JavaScript. It's the nice syntax to get the first defined value among the two expressions. We can rewrite A question mark B using the already known syntax using the ternary operator. Now let's talk about our last topic for this video is JavaScript loops. Loops are the functional concept in the programming that used to repeat a block of code multiple times. In JavaScript, loops allows you to execute a piece of code repeatedly until the specific condition is met. The JavaScript provides several types of loop. First is for loop, second is while loop, third is do while loop. Before getting into the detail about the JavaScript loop, we should know how JavaScript loop works. Unlike any other programming language, JavaScript loop has three parts. First is initialization, that initialize the loop counter variable. Second is condition, the loop run as long as the condition is true. Third is increment or the decrement, that modified the loop counter variable. This is how the loop in JavaScript works. Let's talk about the first loop for the day, that is for loop. The JavaScript for loop iterates the element for the fixed number of time. This loop should be used if the iteration number is known. The syntax for loop is for, in the parenthesis, initialization, second is condition, and third part will be increment and decrement of the loop counter. The example is shown on the screen. Second type of loop in JavaScript is while loop. The JavaScript while loop iterates the element for infinite number of times. It should be used if the number of iteration is not known. The syntax of while loop is while in parenthesis condition, and the example is shown on the screen. Last loop in JavaScript is do while loop. The do while loop in JavaScript iterates the element for infinite number of times like while loop, but the code is executed at least once whether the condition is true or false. The syntax and the example is shown on the screen. You guys might be wondering what is the difference between while and do while loop? While loop checks the condition before execution of the code block, and this is the entry control loop. And do while loop execute the code block once before checking the condition, and this is the exit control loop. Here is some of the practice question related to the loop in JavaScript that we have discussed right now. Please go through it and try to solve each and every question. If you have any difficulty, please let me know in the comment section. I will surely reply and try to help you out with the solution. You can see there are 3 star patterns shown on the screen. This is the most commonly asked question in the interview. Please try to achieve these star patterns using JavaScript. If you have any issue, please let me know in the comment section. I will surely reply with the solution. We come towards the end of the video. Here are some important points related to the topic we have discussed in this video. JavaScript conditional statements allows you to execute the specific block of code on the basis of the condition. Nullish operator is written with 2 question marks. In JavaScript, loops allows you to execute a piece of code repeatedly until a specific condition is met. Entry control loop first check the condition and then execute the block, whereas exit control loop first execute the block and then check the condition. For more such videos, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel Code Time by Swati and hit the bell icon so that you can get the notification of the next part. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye.